Welcome to Steampunk Tuesday. I have finished my first build for 2021 and most of 2020 as well. As most of you know already, I create the devices and I make the little card that goes with them to tell you what they all do. And this card, this is no different. This is McGonagall's Magical Spectro Camera.
Sounds rather lovely. So is this from a special school?
And I couldn't possibly say.
All right. So what does it say on the card here?
Okay, I'll read the card to you, the little story I've written about the device, and we'll talk about the machine itself. So it's McGonagall's Magical Spectro Camera. Whether you believe it or not, magic is amongst us and is very real indeed. Magic on its own is not dangerous for most part. Practitioners of this ethereal art are careful and diligent, just as Harry is, I suppose.
Ooh.
However, some are just trying to make trouble in both the magical world and ours. As magic is usually invisible, we have no way of seeing it, up until now.
Right.
May we introduce to you McGonagall's Magical Spectro Camera. This marvellous device uses the ethereal lenses and Patronus filters to uncloak the invisible forces of magic.
Nice.
Once activated, these filters and lenses comb the area up to 50 feet in diameter for any signs of magic or magical interference. If any signs are discovered, they are neutralised and are stored inside the machine, ready for disposal by one of our trained technicians. This really is a true wonder.
Fantastic.
So, I'll tell you all about all the bits that are on the machine. I'll explain what they are. So, I'll start at the top. This is actually a tea light holder upturned.
Okay.
From the range. It's if you're in the US, it's like
It's
a home place.
It's like a home decor.
It's like
place.
Galleria.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Then we have an MDF ring. On top of that, you'll see a piece of metal stuck out. That is actually an eyelet from a set of eyelet curtains. Okay. Then we have a little tin here. This is a tin that I use for all the wearables. Onto that is mounted a little piece of MDF again, with a back nut and a brass, excuse the word, nipple. There is a bend in there, and that goes into a T-fitting.
That's copper, isn't it?
Copper, yeah.
Copper pipe.
Brass and copper. On there we have, it's a garden light, but it's actually fits beautifully into a 15 to 8 millimeter reducer. That then goes into the camera through a back plate again. This is actually a real box brownie. If you listen, you can hear the click of the lens. On this side, we have, it's all got the lovely red leatherette panels on it as well. We have the same as there with the T on it and the back plate. But on this one, the copper pipe goes into a bend and then it goes into a globe. It's an acrylic globe, so nothing will break. The only glass is that up there.
Yeah.
Another one of the garden lights inside. On the front, we have the flashing human eye.
It's not a real human eye.
No, it'd just be gross, wouldn't it?
It would.
If not illegal. This is actually a bath bomb mould. Aluminium bath bomb mould.
Cool.
Then we have the pipework that goes through, and the eye it's a Halloween eye, but when you buy them, they're just white plastic. They flip from behind. They give an uncanny blinking sensation.
Yeah, the plastic's opaque, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you don't actually see the bulb behind it, but it does glow.
But it's nice because the centre stays the colour it is.
Yeah.
And the outer glows.
And they're available in all sorts of different colours.
Oh, brown, green, blue, grey.
Yeah.
So remember the piece on the top that I told you about the eyelet from the curtain? This is the second piece from it, because when it pushes through, it flanges the back.
Yes.
That is the flange that goes on the back. Waste not, one not.
Excellent.
This is another one of the curtain eyelets.
Okay.
As you see from that, it's mounted onto some coloured MDF and then mounted onto the front of the camera. As we go down a little bit further, we've used a coupler again there to join it to the base. The base has got the gauges, which are available on the website.
Your website.
My website. Little dinky switch there.
Little toggle switch.
Toggle switch, yeah. There's a little compartment in the bottom for the battery to go. But I love the toggle switches because they feel and they look right.
Yes.
But last but not least, we'll go to this side. We have a lovely leatherette panel on there.
Yeah.
This is a very large acrylic tube with a green LED in the bottom. The green are the brightest you get. They are so powerful of the green.
Mm-hmm. So this is another garden light, is it?
It is. Then at the bottom, we have the same back nut with a bend brass bend on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then into that we've got a valve.
It's a real radio.
Radio valve, yeah. And what's it called? Not isotonic. I can't remember what they're called. Something valves. But they're lit from an LED underneath, so they look like they're still working.
Right. So you've not actually drilled into the valve at all, have
No.
you?
I spoke to a gentleman 2 years ago who spent 4 months trying to drill into the bottom to put an LED to light them up. And he said, "How do you do them?" I said, they are glued underneath with an epoxy. I never thought of that, he said.
Yeah.
Well,
most people think that they to drill it into it, but no, it's glass.
The light travels through.
Of course it does.
And then on the back, we have a little handle.
Oh right. So is that kind of like for focus?
Yeah, that's for focus. So you do that to focus the camera.
Marvellous.
And it's got a lovely cabochon and a lovely star in it. And then there's the cog equipment. So that focuses your camera.
Mm-hmm. And the base is made from...
The base is a wooden box
Mm-hmm.
that's all been stained and decorated and varnished. It's all got 4 rivets around it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that looks the business. I'm really pleased with it. From every angle, it's interesting. Even from the back.
Exactly. And the fact that it actually lights up as well. Talk about the bulb.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the bulb. These are so clever. These are, they're on the website. They are an LED 12 volt. You can run them from 8 to 12 volts.
Mm-hmm.
And they are LED flame lights. They have strips of LEDs inside them. You can see from the top. And they flicker, but randomly.
Right.
So you get a flickering effect as though there's a flame in there.
Well, we could actually show them one, couldn't we? Because we have one in a project that I did for Halloween last year.
You have?
So let's just pop it on pause for a second and then we'll get it out and we'll actually show you that LED light.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is Mike's swamp light that he did for Halloween last year. And I can tell they're not real spiders because Mike would actually be on a chair screaming like a girl.
I'd be downstairs. In fact, I'd be in the garden, actually, if there were real spiders, especially that big one.
Yeah. So, this is the magic. So you'll see there are lots of LEDs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right, but the camera can only pick up the glowing. It can't actually see the dots.
Well, there are 6 dots and they go around 1, 2, 3, about 10 or 12. But they pulsate at different rates. It's not just up and down like a graphic equalizer.
Do you want to try and hold it further up to the camera, just so we can see whether or not, just down a bit, left a bit, that's it. You might just be able to see the pulsing.
But they are so effective.
In fact, you can see the glow of the pulsing, which is even better. There's like a little red flame glow, which is pulsating up and down the sides, the left and right side of the bulb itself.
But these run off just a 9-volt battery.
Just a standard smoke alarm battery.
Because I mean, I made some for night lights last year to sell for do the shows. I'm going to do some more this year. If you've got a child who's frightened of the dark or somebody who's not sure, you could put these in a little jam jar by the side, and you've got a little light, flickery light.
Honestly, I'll tell you now. I've actually had this in a darkened room, and it will light the room up completely.
Oh, they're wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
They are so bright.
But it's the fact that and then you just unplug, and that's it. That's all they are. 2 little plugs.
You can pass it over, and we'll just hold it up to the camera so you can see what it looks like. So you can just see very, very faintly, like there's little orange dots on the inside. Well, those are the LEDs. There you go. You can just see them there. So those are what light up at different rates, up and down the bulb. Ian's just capped that off with a little piece of copper tape, just to make it look a bit nicer. But doesn't that look nothing? And then when you actually plug it in,
what gets me is it's not just 3. It goes up, then it stops, and it lasts
me back up again. And let's just see if we can get it a bit closer.
But what I think is very clever with them...
You can see it pulsing up and down now.
is the fact that last year people said, "Oh, has it got a candle in there?" No.
Yeah, it's a very, very safe alternative, isn't it?
Well, I defy anybody to find that, to look at it. If you put a diffuser on it, it's even better. Like in your jar.
Yes, so maybe with some like vellum or frosted glass.
Yeah.
It looks so much better because you don't see anything at all.
I mean, put that straight back into there.
So I've just got it in loose.
Yes, yeah,
and all there is around that swamp light is just some
I mean, that is
cheesecloth.
That is a candle burning in there for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Clever technology, Mike.
Absolutely.
So that's my show and tell for today.
Okay. So do you want to just talk a little bit about the now that the country's coming out of lockdown, that there are some steampunk shows now booked and planned, ready to attend, really. So
there is, just if you just walk behind you and pick a piece of card up by the computer. Thank you.
That's the one.
So we're now coming out of lockdown. So we have, in May I will be in Kelham Hall in Nottinghamshire.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, is that me?
Yes.
Morning, everyone. I'll be at Kelham Hall. I think it's the 23rd and 24th. Is it, Mike? It's not on here because it was.
It's not the bank holiday weekend, is it? It's the weekend before.
I think it's the bank holiday weekend.
Then it's a bit later than that, I think. Let me just consult my
friend Karen gave me these dates and I've forgotten to write them down. Anyway, and then after that I'm going to somewhere in Nottingham called Papplewick. And Papplewick is a Victorian pumping station.
Right, if it is the 23rd of May, then it is the weekend before the bank holiday.
That'd be the weekend before then, yeah.
Right, so that's going to be Friday the 21st, Saturday 22nd, and then Sunday the 23rd
yeah.
Of May.
Yeah. Brilliant. So then after that I'm at Papplewick, as I say, and it's a Victorian pumping station where they actually have they actually power all the pumps with steam. It's a working museum.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a brilliant steampunk weekend there. I'm looking forward to going there. I've not been before. John and Lisa have been.
Who's John and Lisa?
Our friends John and Lisa.
Thank you.
PMP Alternative. They do beautiful handmade and hand finished pith helmets and goggles and
Steampunk clothing.
Steampunk clothing. Sorry, yeah. Duh. Lisa is a wonder with a sewing machine, to tell you that for certain. Then after that, I'm at Bliss Till, and that is near Telford.
Yes.
And that is the Bliss Till Country Museum, outdoor museum. It is brilliant. If you're in the UK, come along for that weekend. It is brilliant. They have streets of shops, they have a mine, they have a railway.
Yeah, it's like a working Victorian town, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a lovely, and they have a fish and chip shop.
Yes.
That cooks proper traditional fish and chips, and a bakery.
Mm-hmm. So anywhere else that's planned so far?
And then the Whitby on the 24th and 25th of July.
Is this the goth weekend? Or
No,
this is the
Steampunk weekend. This is the Whitby Steampunk weekend. That's put on by Andy. So if you're watching Andy High, looking forward to that. That is a brilliant weekend. If you're in the UK and you want to come somewhere that weekend, Whitby Steampunk weekend is a great event. We'll all be there and it'll be such a laugh. Then after that I have Crouch in September, and Crouch is the tramway museum up in Derbyshire. It's got a little town, and the trams travel through the town and then they take you out into the countryside. My friend John, who I spoke about a minute ago, me and him had a tram ride the year before. We were like children at a sweet shop. It is a brilliant day out, and I'll be there as well. And that's put on by my good friend Helen. So hi, Helen. So that is my movements for the next couple of months.
That we know of.
Fingers crossed that Steampunk's in space at the Space Centre in Leicester will go ahead in November, depending on the situation and depending how the COVID rules change. But if they are, my fingers are crossed, and I'm really looking forward to going out because I'm so sick of being in the house with him.
Thank you.
I don't mean that.
I do appreciate it.
No, I can't wait to get back out. Both of us can't to be able to go out and see all our friends in the steampunk world and do our thing.
Just in the real world.
Just the real world full stop would be nice. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please click a link at the end of this video. And tell your friends all about whatever. I can't remember. That was good for me remembering that bit.
Absolutely. So that's all from us for now.
It is.
We'll see you all again very soon. Wave.
Bye for now.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.